Hello there and welcome to the Brighton versus Liverpool, or Liverpool versus Brighton preview, I should say, because we're playing at home this time in the Premier League. And you might be thinking, or you might be wondering, why didn't you do a video for the Napoli game? And it's like, well, basically, just go watch my Crystal Palace review and just change win for a draw. It's exactly the same, apart from we lost Fabinho to a long-term injury, and that is... yeah, that's not good. That's not good. He's not going to play until after New Year. He's going to miss a lot of vital games, including the Champions League game as well. But we're going to focus on Brighton at the moment. Now we'll do a separate video about Fabinho another time, because we're going to be missing the lighthouse. We could be crashing into the seas of the Premier League and the Champions League as well, depending on how his absence will affect us. Now, Klopp has turned around and said, or hinted at, there's going to be a change in system to accommodate for the fact that Fabinho will not be playing for us for a while. Now, that change of system could be a system that we've seen before, and it could be the 4-2-3-1, which would then mean you are going to get a starting duo of Henderson and Wijnaldum, probably as your two number sixes in there. That's what I imagine might happen. Let me know what you think could happen. There's a variety of options that could happen here. You could, there's so many formations in football, and God knows what Klopp is thinking or what he is planning at sometimes, because he can throw some good curveballs out there. He very rarely throws out a bad curveball for us. I'm just hoping that whatever happens in terms of starting lineup, in terms of substitutions, things are a bit more positive and forward thinking than they were, say, midweek. So, we're coming up against Brighton, and normally, some people still, I think, maybe if they haven't watched Brighton at all or play anyone this season, people are still thinking, it's Brighton, we should be walking through them, we should, looking at to get 3-4-0, something like that. While that would be absolutely excellent and we are capable of doing that, this is a different type of Brighton to the one that we had last year, which I think was the one under Chris Hughton. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Chris Hughton that was in charge. He did a brilliant job, but Graham Potter's come in and sort of changed the style of play that they are doing right now. They seem to be wanting to try and play a little bit on the front foot, get the ball, move it well, and attack teams as well. And it paid off for them probably in their biggest win this season against Tottenham, where they won 3-0. I think it was a young lad, I don't remember his name, but a young lad got 2 goals, and he was a very, very good player in that game, and Tottenham just sort of capitulated and accelerated Tottenham sacking Pochettino. Obviously, it wasn't the game that got him sacked, but it pretty much accelerated the thoughts of the fans, I think, that was the way it was going to go for him. They are a good team. They're not a top 6 team, they're not maybe even a top 8 team or anything like that, but they will cause problems because of the way they play. They like to move the ball quickly and get you on the counter as fast as possible. They've got the players to do it as well. Again, I don't know any of their names, which is probably really bad of me, but that is just how it is. I'm focused on my team at the moment. And if we're looking at a change of system, I'm a fan of the 4-2-3-1 if you can use it creatively. A 4-2-3-1 can sometimes stifle creativity. It can stifle the other team that you're playing against as well, because you're sitting that many people. You're going to have a 4 at the back, and then you're going to have 2 defensive midfielders right in front of that back 4. So you're setting 6 people up defensively. And a lot of people aren't a fan of that. But when you've got people like a Wijnaldum, like a Henderson, that can and will move forward, and not just like strict DMs that will just sit in front and screen that back 4, just going like this, almost like this, just going in between the gaps and trying to cut off the passing lanes, then when you've got guys like that, Henderson, that can carry the ball forward, and he does it very, very well, and same with Gini Wijnaldum as well, he seems to thrive playing a bit more forward. You see how he's doing with the Netherlands. Are we missing a trick not playing him a bit further forward? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because the other option is to have Henderson and Naby Keita there as sort of like your holding players, and have Gini Wijnaldum moving forward, or you have Gini Wijnaldum holding back and Naby Keita coming in and playing that creative role. And what would be a very good option here as well is, when we last played the 4-2-3-1, we played it a lot last year, and it's when we were like Clean Sheet FC. We were getting a lot of clean sheets with that formation. We had Joe Gomez in the back line as well. But it's also when we were seeing a bit more of Shaqiri, right? So we were seeing a bit more of Shaqiri because Salah was playing up front and Firmino was dropping in behind. It didn't necessarily get the best out of Roberto Firmino, but we did manage to get clean sheets and we defensively were looking quite a bit better than we have done when we've gone back to the 4-3-3 and different, the way permutations of that formation that we keep playing. It is something that we could go back to. It definitely is something that we could go back to. And if you also look back as well, it took Fabinho a while to get into the team last year. Once he got into the team, he made that position his own. And we're going to miss him sorely over these next couple of months without him. But we've also shown that at the start of last season, we were able to play that sort of formation without him. He barely featured. I think he started a Champions League game before he started any other sort of Premier League game. Took him months to get into the starting 11 for Liverpool, and I think it was just more of a bedding in period and all that sort of business. But we've shown people are already worrying that we can't cope without Fabinho. We've already done it, and we've shown that we can play well with it as well. What I would like to see if we play a 4-2-3-1 is to keep Bobby Firmino up front. Not drop him into that sort of cam number 10 sort of role. Have Salah on the right hand side. Have obviously Mane on the left hand side, and an option between a Naby Keita and a Shaqiri as your number 10 sort of cam as well. I think that could be very, very good. Obviously, if you play Shaqiri, you can play him on the right. Salah could then go up front and Bobby Firmino comes into the cam sort of position. But I'd rather see Firmino further in front of goal and have Salah attacking from the right-hand side, which is where I think you get the best out of Salah, rather than trying to put Salah up front and have someone on the right-hand side over here. I think also it takes away, the pace element that he has on the right-hand side. That's just my opinion anyway, and if he is shuffling the pack and he's thinking that he's going to change the system, I can fully see it possibly being the 4-2-3-1. But let me know what you think in the comments below as well. In terms of starting lineup, I think it's going to be, the only option or the only difference that could happen is who partners Van Dijk in defence. And it's either going to be Gomez or it's going to be Lovren. I can imagine it still being Lovren. Apparently Matip is due to go for scans pretty soon. It might have even been yesterday. Haven't heard anything though. He was meant to go for scans about how long he's still going to be out for, because obviously he's been missing for quite a bit. And my God, do we miss him. We really do miss him, in my opinion. The other guys have done great. The other guys have done really, really well. But Matip is definitely the first choice after Van Dijk, or alongside Van Dijk, I should say. He's magnificent, and I hope he can come back pretty soon. But I think it'll be Lovren in defence, Andy Robertson at left back, Alisson in goal, and it has to be Trent at right back. If we'd have had Trent, and I say this controversially because it's not often that people would question Klopp, but if we'd have had Trent on for the entire 90 minutes against Napoli, I think we would have walked out of there with a win. Because of what he was providing down that right-hand side when he came on, and the runs that he does when he cuts into midfield and starts to stride forward, we missed that so much. And that's not Joe Gomez's fault. He's not a right back. He's not a right back. He can fulfill that role, sort of, but you are taking away the creativity that nobody else right now, in my opinion, in world football brings at right back. And that is my opinion. It's probably a biased opinion as well, but there's no one from right back that does what he does. You can turn around and say, Trent Alexander-Arnold is garbage as a defender. He's not garbage as a defender. He's actually not too bad. He's maybe probably just average as a defender, as a defensive right back. But going forward, that is where, you basically cut our creativity in half, because you only had Andy Robertson on the left-hand side. And you have both of them, and our system depends on the two right back, the right back and the left back. And you take one of them away, and you put a defender, a centre back in that right back position. You're losing half of your creativity that you'd normally have. And when that's what your system depends on, I didn't really understand it, because you could, even at worst, we can lose the game against Brighton and still be top of the table comfortably, fairly comfortably, right? So if we'd have won against Napoli, we could have then just literally like played the kids in the last game because we're through to the knockout stage. Now it goes through to a very nervy last tie against Red Bull Salzburg. It didn't make sense, in my opinion, to drop Trent in that game. I don't understand what the thinking was behind it. I really don't. So Trent has to be in there. Midfield, I'm going as if this is a 4-2-3-1. It's going to be Henderson and Wijnaldum. The talk is that Naby Keita is fit and ready to go. Shaqiri's been on the bench for a while as well, and I'm fully expecting that he's going to go with Naby Keita in here. I think he's going to go with Naby Keita. I think he's going to give you a bit more, like he's going to give you solidity in the midfield as well, but he's going to be able to carry that ball from deep and go further down the pitch as well. So I think he's going to go with Naby Keita, and then it's going to be Salah, Firmino and Mane. Now, he could go with a 4-3-3 here, and I think it would be, I don't know. I hope he goes with a change of system for the 4-2-3-1 to accommodate for the fact that we're not going to have Fabinho for a while, and I think it could work. I really do think it could work. And we come up against the Brighton team that, yes, we're playing at home, but one of the things that I would love that we haven't had in God knows how long, I know we've had one this season. We've definitely had one this season. But when was the last clean sheet that we had? Honestly, please tell me, because I genuinely do not know. I cannot remember. I can't remember, and I didn't look it up. I could have, but I didn't. So yeah, I would love us to keep a clean sheet. I want to go for a 2-0 victory for Liverpool. It's what I'm going to settle on in my mind right now. But I'd love us to keep a clean sheet, even if it was bloody 0-0, and I hope it's not. But even if it's 0-0, it's a clean sheet, we build on it, we move on. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Are you looking forward to the game today? I am not. I don't work Saturdays, but I have to work a Saturday this week, and it is absolutely annoying me. Like, I haven't worked a Saturday in over 2 years. I don't work Saturdays, I don't do overtime. I do my time, and that is it. But I have to absolutely work one this weekend, and I am so annoyed because there is a good chance I'm not going to be able to stream the game at work. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to have to miss it, and I can't even rely on notifications because in my place of work, I'm not allowed my phone anywhere near it, and even if you do get it in, there's no signal. So it doesn't even matter. I have to wait, and it's going to be a ball ache. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you looking forward to the game, and can we get a positive result? And do you expect a change of system as well? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.